All right, so this is a little bit new for us. We're gonna start this after every WWE premium event. They don't call it pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
That's what you call it
Yeah,
still?
it's still a pay-per-view.
What is it now? PLE?
Premium
Live event. So I'm Damien. This is Sam.
I'm Billy.
And that's Billy. So more than likely, it's gonna be us three doing this podcast. We'll probably have Wolfie, right? Wolfie
If we can get him out of the house.
Yeah. So it'll probably be four of us. But for right now, it's gonna be just us three. But before we do anything, we're gonna start off with this shot.
I'm down with that.
So cheers to wrestling.
To wrestling.
All right. So let's talk WWE Night of Champions. So our first match of the night was the newly won World Heavyweight Championship.
Let me just start off and say my biggest
I knew it.
biggest issue
I knew
with
it.
this whole entire
I
match.
Damien.
It should have been the main event. It should have been, with it being the inaugural championship match. They're trying to bring everything back. They're trying to make all this prestige to it. Yeah, it started off the show. It was a great match. It started off fantastic, but the match itself could have been better.
And
AJ style.
It being the first match, you know, just historically, that is not the lead match. That's not the match that people came to see normally in the first spot. You know?
Yeah.
So it's just like he said yesterday, it's kind of taking a little bit of prestige away from
already.
that new title already.
Yeah.
The first thing you're doing is kicking it in the gut.
Yep. Well, that's because, Roman Reigns and Universal, what is the other title? Universal, it was World
Heavyweight. Universal,
It used to be the World Heavyweight and they
Intercontinental
dropped it.
Championship.
So now
it's undisputed Universal Championship. Both belts are like that.
right.
Okay, so, I do feel like it should have been the last match. I didn't even think about that.
Well, and they build 3 pay-per-views, just like, for
Three main
WrestleMania.
events.
3 main events,
three
my
main-
bad.
yeah.
But, and just like they did for WrestleMania, but that wasn't one of them.
No, it wasn't. And Brock and Cody shouldn't have been made. Shouldn't have been.
No, it should have been.
No.
But we'll get
It
to that.
shouldn't have been the second to last time.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We
But
got a lot of matches to go through.
But I also read that the reason why it was the first match because Rollins had to get back and finish filming the movie.
So, he told me you said that.
Yeah.
But then,
He shows up more than halfway through the
It could have been pre-recorded.
that's what I said.
Yeah.
The matches are definitely live. But maybe that interview was, he got out of the ring, he went and cleaned up.
Yeah.
Interview and out the door.
It could have been pre-recorded. I wouldn't doubt that.
That was more than an hour later, so.
Yeah. So and then that's why we'll get to the next one too. That's why Trish Stratus and Becky was second because they're probably leaving together.
right.
But it should have been the last match. But I think it was a good match at setting the tone for the rest of the pay-per-view because I thought it was a good match. You think it could have been better?
Billing with AJ Styles, the history that AJ Styles has and the athletic abilities that AJ Styles has.
He's a big AJ Styles fan. We didn't mention that.
I mean, we're talking beds, we're talking gloves, we're talking elbow pads, obviously shirts. This is not the only one.
I do remember him having the gloves.
My kids, they know everybody knows it. Like,
Despite all that being said, you have him, you have Seth freaking Rollins, and all the prestige that comes with him.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone expects me to go with AJ's going to win this match.
Yeah.
Yes, I want AJ to be the World Heavyweight Champion, but WWE, wrestling, and us as fans needed Seth freaking Rollins as the new World Heavyweight Champion.
well, and Seth Rollins deserves some gold, and it was a good match, and I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But both of them are capable
Of more.
of, record-shattering, the talk of the town, and it just felt rushed.
Yeah.
And that could be because he had to leave, etc. And I personally, I would have been happy either way. Going into it, I thought that Seth would win just because he is in such a big. I mean, he can command the chorus, you know.
Not to mention he's on Raw and it's supposed to be a Raw championship.
Right.
So it was kind of like a spoiler. It's like, but it would have been a good plot twist if AJ would have won. Like, it would have Raw, yeah.
I mean, he's doing his own thing right now, you know. AJ is, and well, Gold could have fit into it. It doesn't need Gold with the storyline that he's currently in. Whereas, you know, Seth has kind of been floating in abyss a little bit, you know.
Yeah, he has.
And a lot of people think that he's not getting, or he wasn't getting the push that he deserved. And then this title came out, and they were like, "Well, if anybody other than he gets to compete for it,
that's right.
I'm gonna revolt."
He was a great, you know, WWE champion. You know,
Right.
and when he had the belt, I still remember when he won it for the first time. WrestleMania.
Yep.
Brock and Roman Reigns, go figure. In the main event. But no, I think he was the man to win. It was the guy to win.
Most definitely. Yeah. And despite my biasm with AJ Styles, there was never a doubt in my mind that Seth Rollins was walking out with that belt.
Oh yeah. So
it just didn't feel. Both of them are just so capable. They have so much star power.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, but it was a good match. It was a good beginning to the show. Yeah. I wanted it to be the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Kaboom! Yeah. You know, that huge pop. That.
Well, we're gonna Well, yeah, I understand, but we'll wait to the end. We'll wait till we get to the last match to talk about that.
Yeah.
So. Final thoughts about that. Who you think that should be or will be the first person to challenge Seth Rollins?
Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
Drew McIntyre?
Yes. He's okay. So
he's on SmackDown though.
Is he? Is he?
No. I think he's on Raw.
I think he got drafted Raw in the draft.
But I think
his contract's been in limbo recently. They weren't able to come to terms, but we've both seen
it should have already been over already.
That he signed a new contract extension with him. And ultimately for him to, I think at the point that he's at, for him to have signed a contract extension, that means they're going to put him in a title picture.
I mean, they did a whole promo with him yesterday during Night of Champions, and he wasn't even.
They did?
He wasn't, yeah, like there was a whole video clip and everything about it.
When was this?
In between one of the matches. I don't remember exactly which match it was in between.
I was probably messing.
And we were both like, Drew McIntyre, cool, you know, that's cool, but he's
next
not
match
champion.
was all because I was on the phone dealing with stuff, and honestly, I missed most of the next match.
Oh. Well, you know.
I know.
I think Randy Orton will come back.
That would be amazing.
That's a good second.
And both of us are of the same thought that absolutely one of the worst things to happen right now would be Randy Orton retiring.
He better not.
But if he physically
if his back's as bad as they're saying it is, man.
I mean, he's a human and he's a dad and he's he has all these things and he has to be able to move. He is the legend killer, but
he is my favorite right now.
So definitely not in the world heavyweight picture.
In
my mind, if he's going to do the legend killer gimmick again and come back, he needs to come back and take the title from him.
I don't think he can do the legend killer
again. I actually like that one
better. Kill off the Tribal Chief's reign, and then we can call that even.
I like that one better.
Killing off the Tribal Chief's reign sounds like a great idea. I know some people are really pro Reigns, but we'll get into all of that. But like, man, come on now.
So the next match, Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. My thought about one thought is that Trish Stratus, she wasn't really showing you ring rust.
Not too much. And going into it, I definitely had a Becky's gonna win this match mindset.
I did too.
But
I was
literally right before the bell rang, like when I sat down writing all this I have here out as to my predictions and what was gonna go on, that way I could keep it all straight today. I didn't know what was gonna happen. Ultimately, I had 3 different options, none of which was the one they went with, naturally. Now, of course, either it was Becky wins clean,
my option.
Either Lita turned, or Lita helps Becky and inadvertently messes it up. Either way.
Yeah.
But I personally had no idea which route they were going to go. So I couldn't sit here and say definitively, you know, this is going to happen or this is going to happen. Whereas with most of the other matches on the card, I was pretty dead set on, you know, this is what I think is going to happen.
Well, I just pick because it's all fun, you know. Like, I'm either going to be right or I'm going to be wrong, and it's whatever my mind is going to go with. So I pick Trish.
Oh, you pick Trish?
Because one, she's showing her ring rust, and two, my big thing, what I thought would most likely happen, was Lita coming and, like you said, trying to help, and in the end,
turn on Becky?
Not turning on Becky, but trying to help, and then something inevitably happening where that help led to Becky losing.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't get to watch the end of the match.
Yeah.
But I saw a picture of Becky afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm going back and watching that match.
Yeah. Oh, so you don't know what happened?
I don't know what really happened. No.
I mean, you don't know what happened to her face, or you don't know why she lost?
I don't know what happened to her face.
Well, the reason why she lost is what happened to her face.
I mean, that's a fair point.
The person that cost her the match is the reason why. And you know, so you know who it was. Oh, you don't know
I don't remember her name. I saw her.
Zoe Stark.
There you go. He told me it was somebody.
Yeah, so
she's one of the NXT people.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
But she's on the main roster. She's on Raw.
She's on the main roster.
Yeah, I think she's on Raw. She did her finishing maneuver, which is it's a flip, and it's kind of like into the go to sleep. And she hit her. I think she kneed her in the nose when she did it. Either that, or when Trish Stratus hit the Stratus faction, the Bulldog, she landed on her. Yeah, Becky hit her nose on the mat.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but.
She hit all of this something real hard.
But yeah, but when she hit her, when Zoe Stark hit her with her finisher, I saw Becky hit her, like, hold her nose like that, but it was like all fast. So I don't know if she hit her right then. But sure enough, after the 3 count, I was like, damn, her nose is bloody. Yeah. Her nose is broke. After Trish Stratus said that she didn't need a broken nose to get to the top or something like that, I was like, damn, now her damn nose is broken again.
Right.
This is the 2nd time. But
she gonna be wrestling in one of them face matches.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was Zoe Stark, but it was an okay match from what I remember.
Yeah. From what I did see of it, it was a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
Like you said, to start this segment all off, Trish didn't show much ring rust at all. And I'm hoping that really turns into a more than just this one storyline type of deal.
No, they're gonna wrestle against
SummerSlam. I would definitely.
They gotta wrestle against
SummerSlam. I would like SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
The only
not Money in
reason
the Bank, SummerSlam.
That I would have thought maybe Becky would have won is because, just in the history, don't shoot the messenger, okay? In the history of, WWE and stuff, the legacies that come back at WrestleMania, they might make it to Backlash.
Yeah.
Very rare that they go past that. Yeah. So I was like, okay, so if Becky does win, it's because it's time for Trish to go home.
Yeah.
Until, the pay-per-view before WrestleMania next year or something.
Well, like now, like Money in the Bank, it's going to be in London, but it's not like the premium, all of them are premium now, but it wasn't, the premiums were WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam.
Big ones.
Yeah. So I think their last match will be SummerSlam, and then that'll be it. I don't think Money in the Bank is going to be one. Unless because Becky might be done with Trish Stratus, and she's probably in the Money in the Bank match, and then Trish Stratus costs her match, and then they go to SummerSlam. It might happen like that.
So do you think it's going to be Zoe and Becky or Zoe and Trish first?
I think it's going to be a tag team. No, I think it's going to be a tag team.
Lita and Becky?
It's going to be Lita and Becky taking on Trish and Zoe.
Yeah.
And then that's going to segue into the Money in the Bank match, which will be the tag team, head rival. And then you're going to have SummerSlam where you can then do the singles match.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
But speaking of Money in the Bank, I got to ask, you got an off-the-wall pick?
Well, I mean,
who's going to win?
Well, I mean, I don't even know who's going to be in it yet.
I mean, we don't. That's the glory of making a pick now.
He said, look at the whole roster.
You know what? I know who's in it, right? I know who's in the qualifying match Monday or Thursday, Friday.
One of them days.
Well, I'll go with Montez Ford.
That's
I like
a good
that
one.
pick.
I like that pick.
I'm really about him right now. Like him and
my man's gonna be a singles champion.
He will, most definitely.
I'm digging the power couple thing. Like,
oh yeah,
I know she just lost. You know,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But like, I'm digging the power couple thing. You know, they got really strong energy.
I like it. Yeah, I like it too.
I like the option of LA Knight.
I do like that
or
too.
Cameron Grimes.
He's really all about Cameron Grimes.
If Cameron Grimes is in the Money in the Bank, that's what I'm choosing. And you already know why.
Guaranteed.
North Carolina, stand up. That's right.
Not even North Carolina. Burlington, North Carolina.
Where we're at right
now.
Burlington. That's right. Burlington, North Carolina.
Right. It ain't very often that we share our hometown.
Yeah, we don't hear from Burlington, North Carolina.
Right.
That's where we at.
Right.
Shout out to Cameron Grimes.
For real.
It's always Greensboro or Chapel Hill or Durham. And like, no hate on the city.
Charlotte,
like,
Raleigh.
We need a little bit.
Yeah, we got Burlington.
Give us one, and
That's what I'm talking
then Cameron will take it. Like,
I'm gonna be like how these like, are you a Lakers fan or a LeBron fan? So wherever Cameron Grimes go, I'm a Cameron Grimes fan.
Right.
So he's like the opposite, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be, if he goes to SmackDown, go to Raw, he's heel, he's face. I'm a Cameron Grimes fan.
For real, look for life. It's the whole NWO
For life. That's right.
That's a shot to Cameron.
Yeah,
I went to Kurt.
Yeah, we should do a shot, Cameron.
I think that means a shot. It's just, you know, it's awesome already to take my kids and them see the lights, and then I have, you know, 2 girls, so their eyes just light up when these women who are really making the best waves in the company show up. And then you get Burlington in it, and they're like, oh my gosh, he's from here. I could really do this.
I'm so glad women's wrestling has changed.
For
Gosh,
real.
Yes.
To Cameron.
To Cameron and women's wrestling changed.
All right, let's go to the next one. Intercontinental Championship match: Gunther versus Ali.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll let you start talking about it.
So I'm gonna sound, you know, I told you it's all about the fun for me. Like, I'm not gonna pick a sports team. I'm gonna go with what's opposite of everybody else, and that's just the norm. And the same goes here. Did I think that Ali would win?
Hell
I didn't
no.
know. Did I want Ali to win?
No doubt.
Honestly, I did.
I wanted him to win, but I knew he wasn't.
Well, to me, okay, there's a couple factors here. One, he is the underdog. He is also Pakistan and Indian descent, which is not. Look, you have that? Yeah. I did my research too, didn't you?
All I said was we all know the reason why Ali won the Battle Royal in the first place.
Right.
That's what I said.
But it also boils down to, and this is just my opinion, and I've enjoyed Gunther and his little show.
Hey.
But it's just getting, it's repetitive
Played
at
out.
this point. It is. It's played out,
Yeah.
and it's time to pass it on to somebody else. And Ali would have been a really good choice to. We were literally talking about this yesterday at the grocery store. Ali would have been a really good choice to let the underdog win in that moment.
Yeah.
And then next week, even, you know, it would be completely believable for him to not win.
Yeah.
And lose the title to somebody else. And I know that some people will be like, oh, well, you think he just needs that illegitimate win. Well, no, it's a legitimate win, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I just thought it would have been cool. I watched his little promo that he put out, and I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
That touched me. I thought it would touch lots of people.
Like when he was
He was sitting in the car, and he was like, so I tried to say something earlier, and I couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
And, you know, I like people who I can see as a people. You know, so that really got me. And I was like, you know what, dude? I hope you win. Did I necessarily think he would? No. Did I think his chances went up when it was just Gunther and not his posse? Yes, it did. And it was a good match. It was a really, honestly, I think that was the best match.
It was a good.
It was a great match.
It was a good match. It was a good match.
Gunther is, I mean, he is a hell of a champion.
Yeah.
And he is a hell of a competitor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ali, I mean, I love anybody who can get up there and flip, fly, and zoom around.
Yeah.
But like, it was a really good match, you know?
Well,
it got me into it. And there are 2 people that I don't, sometimes I'll be like, oh, okay, I don't really care about these guys and scroll my phone. But last night I was like, hey, man, this is good.
no, I think it was a good match too. And I figured they would do what they did. They
right.
They let Ali have like his moments where we really thought it was gonna happen.
That's one
And
of the
then
things.
they-
They both did really well
Yeah.
selling the
Yeah.
possibility that Ali was going to win that match.
They did.
Despite how much we, like me and you and her, definitely as true blue fans, knowing Ali's not going to win this match.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna
There was a couple moments where I'm like, he might actually pull this out.
Yeah.
Like,
If
might
you
get
can
to
make
it.
it believable,
Yeah.
if you can both get in that ring,
Mhm.
I don't care who you are, I don't care what you classify as, heavyweight, cruiserweight, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It just changes how the match is perceived,
Mhm.
you know, by all of the fans. And that perception is what matters. And they get in the ring when they get older and they talk about how much, you know, they couldn't do without us and stuff.
Mhm.
And if the fans would have been in charge last night, Ali would have won.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, definitely.
But even though my pick didn't win, it was still a really good match.
It was a good match. It was a great match.
I do feel as though, with as much as they have built up Gunther and his Intercontinental title reign, and they're trying to, you know, almost compare him to Roman Reigns in his 1,000-day reign now.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's not time to talk about that yet.
Yeah. I might have to cut the video and then like start it back. We'll have a whole 20-minute video just for that one match.
But ultimately, with the way they build that, why was that not, or excuse me, the way they built up Gunther, why was that match itself not billed as a main event match? In my opinion, going into this premium live event, the main event matches were the World Heavyweight Championship match, the Tag Team Championship match, and then this one.
And the
All
tag
of
team
those.
championship was really
Certainly
just
not
because it was
just
Roman.
Brock and Cody. It's Night of Champions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That wasn't even a championship match. Like, why is that billed as a main event?
Say that sentence when
Yeah,
we're
just
talking
like-
about
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Night of Champions, because it's going to trigger something when it's time.
Well, so I guess it was a good match.
It was a fantastic match.
I
So,
understand.
all right. So next match, the Raw Women's Championship: Bianca Belair versus Asuka.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
To start off,
I'm going to let you do it first. 'cause I got stuff.
we know I have it all written out and planned out, and circle who I think's gonna win.
Uh-huh.
There was 2 matches that I had no idea which way they were gonna go when the pay-per-view started, and that was Becky and Trish and Belair and Asuka. But the moment that the entrance music hit, the moment I saw Asuka hit that ramp, I knew from that point on, Asuka was taking the belt. There was no doubt in my mind until probably about 2/3 of the way through the match. I got the feeling of, Asuka's a little more dominant than I expected her to be. She might actually lose this, you know? But then she winds up pulling it out. We have a new Raw Women's Champion, and I'm all for it. And ultimately, there's one more point I have left to it, but I'm sure she'll get to the point.
So, for me, I picked Asuka before, and I've just always been an Asuka fan ever since she came here. I've thought that she was great, and I've never thought that she got the push that she truthfully deserved. But I also like Bianca Belair, so this was another one that I would have been happy either way it went, but that I did think that Asuka was going to win. And the big thing here is I don't know, I watch people's energy a lot, I mentioned that already, and Bianca's energy was not in it. From the time she hit that ramp,
actually,
to
yes,
the time she hit that ramp
I
again,
agree.
it was gone.
I agree. I actually thought when I saw her coming to the
She
ring,
was really tired.
and she normally
She's
is really happy and
she's got
smiling
this
when she
energy.
comes down there.
And I know
I
that
saw
you're
it.
losing the belt. I know you're losing the belt.
Yeah.
I know you know that.
You could tell, I saw it.
Like,
I
and
saw
I
it.
understand, as a human being, that's got to be one of the hardest parts about the job.
Yeah.
It's
That's the
getting
one
in the
thing
ring.
I like.
Yeah.
Well, one of the few things I think that I couldn't do
Yeah.
about the aspect would be knowing I'm about to lose this title,
Yeah.
and this is the last time I'm coming out here with that belt, and not being able to let the fans see that.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
Yeah.
when me and you had the discussion on Facebook about how when Charlotte lost, that was a beautiful loss.
Yeah.
And she
It really was.
she was like,
Oh yeah.
I know that Bianca is human and everything, but that just felt so strange to me because she is very her energy is always so big and so bright, and so you know it's infectious. And I was like halfway through the match, and I'm like, this ain't it.
So to that point, because what I wrote down, I said that the match was sloppy.
It was.
It was very, very sloppy. It was like you could tell they didn't know what to do next, or
Asuka has a little bit of a tendency sometimes that I do see that trend in her matches sometimes because I feel like maybe it's all just so much. You know?
Being in Japan is much different, and that's where she got big, and that's where she honed her craft. And ultimately, they are a lot more impromptu in their matches over there than we are here. And it does and can get very, very messy, you know, in those matches, which is why it's hard for people like Asuka or Shinsuke or even Io Sky to come in, even AJ, to come in and wrestle in American promotions like they do here, especially in WWE, with all the precautions and the safety and the practices that WWE has. They don't
Lord
have
knows
that
don't
over
want to
there.
make a mistake because the entire internet's going to eat them alive for a botch.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever go to work and don't make a mistake.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I understand that
there's a
black
page on
pictures
Twitter.
like,
WWE botches.
Right.
There's a page.
I can't follow stuff like that because it makes me mad because people are human.
Yeah.
Now if you are routinely getting in the ring and breaking people's necks, you need to go back to training and you need to take it out.
Eva Marie.
There you go.
Oh no, she just sucks.
But Eva Marie just sucks. But
by the way, these are our opinions.
These are opinions. They're not sponsored by anybody. They're hers personally.
Yeah, these are just opinions. Eva Marie, she was pretty.
It was all looks.
But yeah,
For a woman.
But her in-ring ability, she's not. We're not even talking about her. But yeah, I felt like that match was a little sloppy. I didn't like to your point. I thought I was like Bianca's probably gonna retain this, but when she was going down to the ring, I was like,
I don't think this is a retaining walk.
I don't know. And so I was.
It was like the walk of shame almost.
Yeah.
I was like, dude.
And in the match, I was like, okay, so how's this gonna end? So, you know, she missed the mist.
Right.
And I was like, okay, so that's over with.
Supposed to happen like that, you think?
Yeah, it was supposed to happen.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, so that's over with. So now what? So how is she gonna win this?
It definitely put us in a limbo of that. You know, we were very confident Asuka was gonna win.
Yeah.
Then she missed the miss, and we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now we don't know. Does it? It means one of two things. Either one, it definitely means she's gonna figure out a way and she's gonna win this, or it definitely means that she's not.
Yeah. And that seesaw was not balanced well.
And she figured out a way, and in a way that I've never seen before.
And they were talking, the commentators were talking about the way that she had her fingers taped and how that's a technique that's used in Japan.
I never seen
and I don't think that necessarily has anything to do with the miss, but it certainly helped.
It helped. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, the tape, the whole
it helped.
And I don't know what's in that stuff, but
I ain't never seen it.
I don't want to find out.
It's probably just like food color.
Even if it is, somebody has to spit it on me.
You got to spit on either way. Yeah.
I do feel as though, just personally, that they should have maybe put this match in the third spot where Gunther and Ali was. Just with, you know, trying to keep the fans into the pay-per-view. Yes.
Because
that's what
everybody go.
Right. Yeah, that's what, like I said, it was sloppy. Because I was, at one point, I was like, God, this match doesn't hurt to be over.
Right. And with as great as Gunther and Ali was, it definitely would have helped leeway into the next match.
A little more balance. Like, I know Triple H is really new at this. Like, you know, it's not actually been that many events that he has truly been running without it being things that were ever set in place by Vince.
Triple H is doing an awesome job.
He is.
He is now.
But
he has taken the reins and done a fantastic job.
Sure
it just felt, this particular pay-per-view felt unbalanced in comparison to Backlash and WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It felt really lots of stuff, lots of stuff.
Well, you know,
and I guess maybe that's like an intermission, but that sucks for.
Yes, you know, maybe they're just they need that Saudi Arabia match, so they just put something together.
Yeah. That's got to be why Cody and Brock are there, just because of their popularity.
Yeah.
Because why were two not champions fighting at Night of Champions?
I mean, well, that's the second match that happened.
That what? Right.
Anything else with that match?
I think that's.
No, that pretty much covers it. I'm about ready to continue my irritation.
Your what?
My irritation and my bitching.
I'm like, man, this one.
We all know I like to bitch, and this match is my bitch of the
But
whole.
you gotta tell
Wait,
them
the
how.
SmackDown Women's Championship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
listen, though, you're gonna understand why. Babe, you gotta tell them why I was right, though.
Okay, SmackDown Women's Championship match: Natalya versus Rhea
Yeah.
Ripley.
So, when this match came about, there is no doubt in my mind Rhea Ripley's walking out with this belt.
Yep.
But coming into this match, in my opinion, of watching the history of WWE, watching the history that Natalya calls her career,
Mm-hmm.
and I say that lightly because Natalya calls it a career. Many wrestling fans call it a career, but some of
You picked
us
one up that was empty. I was just seeing.
just call it
Awesome.
living off of her family life, family name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she's
And ultimately, yes, she is technically great in the ring, but in my opinion, does she ever really need to be in a championship match more than a rite of passage?
the way that she
No.
is now. Absolutely not.
And ultimately, what that means for me coming into this match was that I had the assumption and the expectation that this was going to be a really good technical match.
Mm-hmm.
And Natalya was going to take Rhea the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
then they
said-
ruined it.
Well, see, I said,
Yes.
as we're in the grocery store talking about it beforehand, I said,
Yeah.
this is going to be a squash match.
Oh my God.
And he's like,
No,
No.
it's not going to be like that.
You said that.
I
Yes.
said that.
So you can, being a taken man, can understand the point of now WWE has made her right
Yeah.
and me wrong.
Yeah. 'Cause
So-
I didn't think it was gonna be a squash match, and then I saw that I was like, you gotta.
I didn't think it was going to be quite as splashy as it was,
like,
but
yeah,
oh my
absolutely.
God, you could have made stir fry.
Yeah.
I was not happy with it in the slightest.
I wasn't happy with that match either. I was like, what is this? Taking up? What is this, like a time
It just
filler?
is a-
That's what I
Exactly.
said. It was
What is
legitimately a
this?
time filler.
I was like, okay.
And Rhea deserves more.
Yeah.
She does.
She really does.
Yeah.
Like,
She, as a champion, she deserves opponents that can get out there and they can hang.
Yeah. Well, and I also said that first of all, it was Natalia's birthday, which
was
and
it?
Natalya
Yes.
also,
No,
right?
it was Natalia's birthday, and she got squashed on her birthday.
I mean,
Wow.
whooshed.
and
Oh gosh.
maybe she had a party to get to.
maybe,
Maybe
but
she had to go.
but
she was flying back
the
to
one thing
Canada.
I was happy about that is that I told you I hate squash matches. I hate like when you get these 6'6" wrestlers and they go against local 5'5",
Right.
100-pound wrestlers.
Almost versus unnamed, like
Yeah, almost versus my 5-year-old.
right.
So I'm
and
like,
they feel that.
it's like, why? Like, okay, you're making this guy to be larger than life and a monster.
Him being able
Yes.
to beat little dude is not.
That's not doing it.
That ain't bragging.
But Rhea Ripley squashing Natalya, that makes more sense.
That makes more
Because
sense.
Natalya is
They're
a
the same
wrestler.
size.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like-
that rite of passage.
Yeah, it's like
The
that.
technical
That's the
skills
kind of
are
squashing that I'm
similar.
talking about. That like, I'm sorry, but Gunther squashing AJ, like it's something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but something like that. That's a good squash match. Don't bring no local people. I mean, I get it. It's good for the local people. It's good for them. But I hate those matches. Those are
Speaking
time
of it
fillers.
in that term, I guess I can come to appreciate for Rhea's character
Yeah.
what this squash match did for
Well,
her.
yeah.
Because ultimately, what it did for her is I can beat Natalya in 3 seconds.
I did both sides. I can see
Like,
both sides of
Yeah.
that.
I mean, and I think they're trying to push the Judgment Day as like heels, like that.
I mean, yes, bad guys, great. Champions, Rhea Ripley, yes. The rest of them, not so much. Right?
Dominic is the
The
biggest heel.
little runt of the litter that needs to be dropped off in a box at a firehouse.
You're gonna put him in the baby box? I think his mommy has to do that.
He's like the biggest heel.
I don't know, who are we calling? Vicky?
Oh.
I think called anybody but her. I'm just saying.
Who?
If we called
If we
his
called
mommy,
anyone but Rhea, Rhea would handle
she'd
it.
probably beat us up.
Who, Rhea?
Yeah,
I would love for Rhea to beat me up.
I bet you would.
I would love for Rhea to beat me up.
My
know,
16-year-old niece
she's
is like, she is in love with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, she really
And
is. She's not into wrestling. Like
She's
we
not,
are.
but she's like, Rhea is bae.
I mean, I don't know. It's just she's like a weird attractive for me. Like
It's
a
the-
weird attraction.
It's the energy, man.
It might
really
be the
is.
energy. It might be the accent.
It's
It might
her-
be.
It's all of it. It's the whole package because it is her.
It might
It's
be
her
everything.
accent. It's her confidence. It's her. My shit does not stink. I am the best. Like
It's that body.
yeah,
Well, I have to-
and her body don't hurt. That's for sure. Like
I have to admit
I'd love
that you guys mentioned it earlier. Charlotte losing to Rhea. The fact that you can make Charlotte Flair of all people lose the
beautiful.
title
Yeah.
and she smiled
beautiful.
about
And
it.
she
She's
smiled
fucking
about it.
crying.
Then-
Sitting on the apron.
But
not
I mean,
having
you got every right to be like, my shit don't stink.
But I think you know, of course, like Charlotte, she's like, if I wanted to lose to anybody, it's gonna be her, and she just did a good job at pushing her. That match was good too.
That was
I know we're not
amazing.
talking about that pay per view, but that was
It
That was
a
an
fantastic-
amazing match.
that
That was.
a great. Actually, I think I said
It should be in the matches of the
I
year.
might have said that was probably the best match of the pay per view.
I think
Was it Backlash?
Yeah.
I think I was like, that's the best match.
No,
No, it was
Was WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was WrestleMania. I
And
was like,
that was one of the
oh yeah,
best
it was a main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best match of the night.
See that
That was
card
the
was
best match
prepared
of the night.
correctly.
So-
That was the best match of the night.
We asked
Hands
about the World Heavyweight title. So that reminds me, let me ask and kind of back up a couple matches and revisit who do we think is going to go after the Intercontinental title.
Oh yeah, I
Recap.
forgot to say that. Yeah. Okay, so
Mm.
Randy Orton.
You
Randy
think
Orton is
he's
going to be the
That's
answer
what
to
we were
everything.
saying for everything.
Everything. Randy Orton. No,
Where's
no.
your creativity?
What is he on? Raw? He's on SmackDown.
He's on Raw.
I think he's on Raw. I think he got drafted.
No, he's on SmackDown.
Is he?
Is he?
No, he's on Raw.
I don't know.
He's on Raw. He came back to Greensboro. He's on
Look,
Raw.
I can
He's on Raw.
Google
What
it.
do you
That's
mean he
what I
came
got.
back to Greensboro?
He's on Raw. He came. No. Gunther did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He returned when they came back to Greensboro.
So you think it's going to be Randy?
No, I was just joking.
I mean, for the Intercontinental title?
maybe an ex Intercontinental champion. I don't know.
So it's Gunther right now. If Drew McIntyre is coming for the World Heavyweight title,
If he ain't going for the World Heavyweight, he's going for that one.
yeah, honestly, that'd be my best bet. I'm going to have to go with Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton.
So he's just going to pick Randy Orton for everything. You're going to pick Drew McIntyre
Yeah,
for
pretty
everything.
So you got to be that.
Should I pick John Cena? I mean, come on.
Well, we can't see him.
We
so.
can't see that match.
Right.
Speaking of, did you see that tattoo that somebody got? You know, you couldn't even see that shit. It was
It's a viral tattoo, guys.
It was
Go find it on
fantastic.
You know what? I'm gonna use that.
Right?
They're gonna be like, "You got tattoos? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Where?
yeah.
John Cena.
John Cena right here.
Right there, John Cena.
I got a whole sleeve of John Cena.
Whole body right there. Yeah. So,
Then who's going
Okay.
to go after the Raw women?
yeah. Okay. So I don't know. I think Bianca's gonna get a rematch.
I think, yeah, so I was going to say, so Bianca is on her rematch. And I could, there's a really tiny percent chance that she might, in my head, get it back right now. But I also kind of maybe see them riding the rear for a little bit because she's
No, Asuka.
big.
Raw.
Oh, Asuka. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Wrong promotion.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
who's going for Asuka?
Yeah. So, and that's.
I definitely think
This is
Bianca's-
SmackDown.
Where's Bailey at?
Well,
Maybe
Bianca's
it's on Raw.
definitely going to get a rematch, I feel, against Asuka.
They got this whole flip flop. It's like Raw women.
Right.
I was
champions
gonna
on
say,
SmackDown,
so
SmackDown
for
champions on Raw.
future, I'm gonna print me up a red one and a blue one.
Yeah.
Because it changes every year, and by the time I get it down on who it is, like who's where, they
Yeah.
swap it, and I'm like, oh.
So I mean, I don't know. So who's going after Asuka? This is
I
SmackDown.
definitely think Belair will get a rematch.
Oh, well, she's definitely getting a rematch. That's in the clause, ain't it?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
That's in the contract.
So she'll get her rematch, but she won't win because ultimately, my point of which I missed earlier was that I feel as though Asuka's character,
For this new gimmick.
for the new persona she's coming out with. When I say new with quotations, let me add that because ultimately it's her gimmick from Japan.
Yeah.
But
then she had greenness, and that's
right.
Yeah.
With doing all of that, she needs this reign
Mm-hmm.
to solidify her gimmick. For her to be able to continue with this persona, she needs to run for a little bit with it. And that includes the title. So she needs to have the rematch with Bianca. She needs to win with Bianca. And I mean, don't let it be a squash match. You know,
No, it's not gonna be a squash.
I don't think Asuka.
I think it'd be a good match. I think it'd be a good match. It's just Asuka. She'll probably keep the title for a while.
I think she's gonna hold it for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Talk about her color mist changing. What color was is the green blue? Isn't this green?
It was green at first, and now it's blue. Well, hers is blue.
Okay.
It was green.
I know the finger taping came from the Great Muta, so that's the first time that I've noticed the mist change color. So
I noticed it when she came back.
See,
like when she recently came back.
I guess I was probably making chicken nuggets or something.
So then, who's gonna go after the SmackDown title with Rhea?
So this is Raw now.
Yep. So we're on Raw.
So this is Raw. I don't know.
Bailey.
It could be Bailey.
Because they're pushing Damage Control pretty hard.
I thought Bailey was leaving too. There was rumors that she was going to be leaving after Backlash, I think.
Yeah, there was rumors about it, but
Alexa Bliss.
oh, of course you're gonna go with her.
About her. Where did she go? Is she injured?
She's just been doing the Masked Singer.
Yeah.
She did go
She's
on the
been
Masked
doing the
Singer.
Masked Singer. She was I think the pink axolotl. If I
It's
slaughter that
about
word,
time.
don't come for me.
I love the Masked
It's
Singer.
about time for her to come back.
Alexa Bliss, yeah, I can see that.
So I'd seen rumors about her with Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
And then they scrapped.
Where is he? Where is Bray?
They scrapped the Uncle Howdy thing, and that whole I don't know what happened there because why do
Vince happened.
it had to be because they were pushing that and it was going
Damn you,
such
Vince.
storyline and such storyline, and it didn't really make sense, but it was still a storyline.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to bring a bunch of people back.
Yeah.
Alexa being one of them, I
Right.
suspect.
And
I
then
don't.
and what's her name? I mean, what's his name? His brother.
Dallas.
Yeah, being Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Right. That when they brought Bray back, it was good. Like it was,
Because they were letting him do his thing.
Yeah.
And then Vince came back and it was like,
that. You know what?
I don't know what superpower he has, but everything he touches turns to shit.
We can talk about anything we want. Like we're gonna try to stick to this. But like anytime y'all want to talk about random shit for wrestling, let's do it. Cause we can set up and talk about Vince all day.
Let's do a Vince one.
Because
We're gonna just have to do that.
This guy's just messing up everything.
And not altogether that too long ago, he was the epitome of a businessman, of a wrestling leader.
Yeah.
When you really look at how long wrestling has been around, not that long ago, he was that.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what happened, but scandals and maybe medical problems, I'm not sure.
I think it was mostly scandals. That's right, that hush, we still don't
We got a
know.
whole bunch.
We still don't know who gave it to.
There's one person that has came out, but the other people haven't.
Okay.
And pretty much, I think the person that came out was the one that was like spearheading the public stuff with him.
Okay.
So I guess that brings us to our next match.